Narcissists have some shocking ways of controlling you with money. Are you feeling so under their spell and just incompetent with money? Well, you might be dealing with a narcissist. You may have grown up like me thinking that couples are supposed to share their finances. And, both of my parents worked, so they combined their money. Of course, my mother made less than my father back then, but, they shared their finances. It was combined. Most of us, that's how we grew up. We thought that's the way it's supposed to go. But you don't expect this person that you trust to use money as a weapon. I saw a TikTok the other day with Rosanna Faye. If you don't follow her, she has some great content about narcissism. But she was acting on a skit. She was playing the narcissistic spouse and then the victim. And the narcissistic spouse was questioning. He was saying, "Oh, I see that you got a Starbucks drink for yourself." And she said, "Yeah, it was free with my points." He tilts his chin up and squints his eyes a little bit and said, "How many drinks do you think you had to buy to earn that free one?" And she said, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know how the points system works." And he's just looking at her like, And then he starts cussing. I'm saying he. It was her playing both parts. But the narcissist starts cussing. Well, that video, just the look on the face of the narcissist, even though she was playing a part, it just sent chills down my spine because I know that feeling. And my partner didn't even cuss at me. So it was just the fact that there's that criticism and judgment, and you can just feel it coming. And you know that there's a possibility that there could be a giant argument coming over this. It could be raging for hours and then, followed by the silent treatment. You don't know. And so it's so anxious, or I should say anxiety inducing and stressful. So I knew how that felt. So here are some of the sneaky ways that narcissists use around money. They use to abuse you around money. These are financial abuse. So take that to heart. This is a form of abuse. So number one, they make subtle jabs, just like that TikTok I was talking about your spending. And, if you were to explain it to another person that is not in a narcissistic relationship, like take that TikTok, for example, so he questioned you about Starbucks, big deal. And it really doesn't sound like a big deal when you try to explain it to somebody, but to you, it feels like a big deal because it causes so much anxiety. The trouble that it can cause when they start criticizing you that way. It can cause a big argument or fight. And it's all about them feeling control over you. You made a decision without consulting them. That's the part they're really upset about. They're not upset that you got a Starbucks drink. They're not upset that you bought a pair of jeans without, shopping around for a discount. They're upset because you made a decision without consulting them. So number two, they scrutinize receipts. So this could look like you coming home from the grocery store and your partner grabbing this receipt right away and saying, "Why did you spend $7 on grapes? Did we really need to do that?" Or, "You bought milk again? We have half a carton in the refrigerator already." Now, mind you, these things are just like pennies or dollars that they're causing an argument about. You're a grown adult. You have the ability to make financial decisions. You can, sure, and this was me. Maybe you have made some mistakes in the past. You didn't budget properly or whatever, and you overspent on this thing, which made you not have as much for this thing. That happens. That's a mistake, and it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. But that doesn't mean that you need a parent figure standing over you, telling you what you can and cannot spend every time you go to the grocery store, every time you buy basics to take care of yourself. You deserve to buy clothes for yourself without having somebody tell you, yes, that's okay if you spend that. No, it's not okay. So again, they're warlording over you concerning money. Number 3, they take control of finances to help you. So this can look like, you're spending so much time with the kids. Let me take this off your plate. You're working really hard. Just put your paycheck in our joint account or my account, and I will take care of all the bills. Don't you worry your pretty little head over that. So, it's kind of like they're being the parent again. I'll take care of everything. And you may think, hey, yes, please take that off my plate. I'm not good at budgeting. I'm not good at paying the bills on time. I don't have time because I'm already taking care of the kids, going to the grocery store, cooking the meals, cleaning the house, doing the laundry. I've got so much on my plate. I would love it if you take one thing off my plate. So you might agree. You might say, yes, that sounds great. And then that's just a way for them to abuse you, because now they have the power to say, you can buy this, you can't buy that. Yes, we have the money for this. No, we don't have the money for that. And guess whose things we usually don't have the money for? It's not theirs, it's yours. So before I go on to the next ones, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And, share with other people. I'm trying to grow. And, the more you share with, the more people I can help. The more you can help by putting comments below, sharing your experience so that other people can, learn from you as well. We don't want other people to have to go through this trauma. So help me out. Let's help as many people as possible. So number 4, sabotaging your career. This is another sneaky way that narcissists try to control you with money. And it looks like maybe they want you to stay home and take care of the house or the kids, and they don't want you to work. And it sounds really amazing because, like I said, you're really busy, you're taking care of all the things. Wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to go to work every day and you could just be home taking care of your kids? But again, now they are the only one making money, so they have the say over how it gets spent and where the money goes. And if you get to a point where you decide that you want to leave because they are being mentally, emotionally, physically abusive, you don't have the funds to do so. Also, it takes away the chances of advancing in your career over the years. Let's say you take 5 to 10 years off. Now that's the promotions that you didn't get the higher salary. And it may be a case of where you both decided together that you were going to stay home, which is great. So many people do that. It's great for the kids if you can do that. But when you're with a narcissistic partner, they use that to control you and keep you stuck in a toxic relationship. Not just trying to get you to stay home. There's other ways, like maybe your car is having some trouble and they tell you, oh, I'll fix it. Let's not take it to the shop. It'll cost thousands if we do that. I'll just fix it myself. And then, weeks later, it's still sitting in the driveway. Nobody's fixed it. You've been trying to catch rides with other coworkers or get to work by bus or train or some other way. And it's really starting to cause a big problem for you at work. You're not getting there on time. You maybe can't even find a ride some days. So that's one way that they could sabotage your work. They could also keep you up at night, which makes you struggle to get up in the morning and be at work on time. They could bail on you when it's time for them to take a turn with the kids. You know, that when the kids are sick from school, they have a big meeting or something and they can't take off, supposedly, and that leaves you being the one to take off again, and you're running out of sick days. Your boss is getting really upset. Or let's say that you have a meeting and you have to stay after. They are not responsible to go pick up the kids. So you have to either find another arrangement or miss the meeting. And you're making choices about your career that really puts a strain on your chances for promotion or raises, or you may even end up getting let go or laid off because you are not coming across as reliable, and it's because of your narcissistic partner. Okay, now, number 5. Another way that they can control you with money is losing their job over and over again, or never even applying for a job. So what that ends up making you do is you have to stay in a job that you hate, or you are feeling really tight with bills and stuff, and you can't purchase the things that you need to purchase or even want to purchase. You can't go after your goals and your dreams for the future because you are struggling with money due to them not working. One of the ways this happened for me in the past was my ex was in charge of taking care of the health insurance for the kids. So he would get health insurance for the kids, he'd get a job, get health insurance, and then he would lose his job. So then I would have to put them on my health insurance, and that would come out of my paycheck. And then he would get another job, and I would put the health insurance back on his insurance, and then he would lose his job again, and I would have to put them back on my insurance. What I ended up doing is paying for their insurance the whole time. I wasn't going to keep taking them on and off. That was just too much stress for me. So now the health insurance for the kids is being taken out of my paycheck. I'm not getting child support on a regular basis. So that was one of the ways that him losing his job over and over was causing me financial stress. So number 6, another way that they can cause you financial stress is by creating so much debt. They create so much debt that you end up not being able to pay for things at times. Your credit gets bad, or you have so much debt, your credit score gets lowered. You can't reach for your future goals. You can't, buy that house that you wanted or go on that vacation that you wanted. There's so many things that this debt can cause stress for you around, because just having high debt is really stressful for anybody, but especially when it's not even you creating the debt. And a lot of times these people will leave you high and dry with large amounts of debt, and they're gone. They're not going to pay it. So that's one thing to watch out for. Number 7, this is the last one, is hiding money. This is another way that narcissistic or toxic people can control you with money. They take money straight from their paycheck and they use it for investments, or they put it in a savings account. They just hide large amounts, and you don't know where the money went, and you don't have a password to the account. There's so many ways nowadays that you can do everything online. No mail ever comes to the house, and you don't see it. You don't know it's there. You just know that this much is in your joint banking account and this is how much you have to spend. You may ask or wonder, where did that money go? And they'll tell you, oh, I'm investing it, or I put it in a savings account for retirement or whatever. And you think, okay, well, that sounds good. We need, some retirement accounts. But when it comes down to you wanting to leave or getting a divorce, that money is money that you needed or that could help you get your house or wherever it is that you need to live, but they've hidden it away so you can't get it for spousal support or child support. What happens when you are controlled financially by a toxic or narcissistic partner is that it affects you mentally, emotionally, and physically even. You know, it lowers your self-esteem, you feel anxious, you may have depression, it can cause inflammation in your body from your high cortisol levels, you're always in fight or flight. You can have physical symptoms like high blood pressure, IBS, you can have joint pain, back pain, all the chronic symptoms that go with chronic illnesses. You can feel shame or guilt when you're accused of overspending. So it really does a number on your self-confidence and your self-worth. Also weight gain, that's another one that it can cause. So your quality of life is affected because you're constantly in fear of not being able to pay your bills on time, make needed repairs to your home. You know, right now I am in a position of having to repair a lot of things on our home that weren't repaired while I was in my last relationship. I have a tree that needs to be cut down. It's going to cost at least, I would guess, $1,500. I need a roof replaced. I need a fence replaced. And the list goes on, and I'm just going to tick them off as I go. But do I wish I wasn't in this position in the first place? Yes. Also, you know, like I said before, you're having to put off vacations. You're having to not be able to do things with your family that you would like to do. I would like to take my kids out for dinner periodically. And they're grown adults, they can pay their own way, but you know, it'd be nice to be able to do that for them. Sometimes it would be nice to be able to plan vacations for all of us. And you know, we talked about debt being an issue. Your lower credit score can affect you when you want to rent a place to live or purchase cars and homes in the future. You have a lowered sense of security and safety when you don't have the money that you need to get by. And, you know, I'm talking about not only when you're with your toxic partner, but also if you find yourself in a position where you feel like you need to get out of this relationship. If money is really tight, you could really get stuck in this relationship for a long time. It's a reason many partners stay, because they feel like they can't do it on their own. They can't afford to do it on their own. And, you know, it can be a really scary place to be. So what can you do to protect yourself? Maybe you've already left, or maybe you're still there. There's different things you can do depending on the position that you find yourself in. And the first thing I'll say is don't let someone else have access to all of your money. Now, we talked about that's a way that a narcissistic person can control you with money, but here's the difference. You are not doing it to manipulate someone else. And, you know, you're doing it to protect yourself. Sure, like you can let them know that you have this retirement account, but they don't need to know the passwords. They don't need to know how much money is in there. And this is, I'm sure, very controversial for some couples, because if you have a healthy partner, then sure, you can share your finances. I have a friend that has a healthy partnership with her husband, and she takes care of the money. He earns the money and she takes care of it, but they have a mutual agreement and it works really well for both of them. Yes, they discuss large purchases or renovations and things on their home, but they have a healthy relationship. If you're in a relationship that's not healthy, you're gonna need to protect yourself by putting money in some secret accounts. Not to manipulate, but to protect yourself. So also, don't have your name on credit cards because that you can't afford to pay for yourself. So the way this happened to me in a past relationship was I had my name on a credit card and I would use it periodically for, maybe I was taking the kids to the doctor and my ex would say, just put it on the card. And there would be things for the house, just put it on the card, it's fine. So he was in sales and he earned large bonus checks at the end of the year. So he would just pay down all the credit card debt. But when we got divorced, I had this large balance on my credit card that was in my name, and I don't earn bonus checks as a teacher. So when I went to court, we ended up settling in mediation, but the attorney told me that the judge is going to give you any debt that is in your name. They're not going to make him pay for it. So I got stuck with this large credit card bill that was a struggle for me to pay off because I was, raising my kids. I couldn't, and I was on a teacher's salary. So make sure you don't have your name on things that you can't afford to pay off. If it's a car, you can sell it. If it's a house, you can sell it. But credit cards, you can't just get rid of that debt very easily. Then also pay off your debt. Like, let's say that you are preparing to that for the end of your relationship. You're thinking it's looking like it may come to an end. You're not sure yet. You are feeling stuck, but finances are a problem. Pay off all your debt that you have in your name, if possible. Chip away at it a little bit at a time, and then put money aside in savings. There are some high yield savings accounts online that you can put money in, and it can earn you up to like 4.9%, 4.5%, somewhere like that. And that's much more than a regular savings account. I think a regular savings account is less than 1%, maybe 1% if you're really lucky. So that's a great option. I put money in a SoFi account. The reason I chose SoFi was because I had heard a couple of creators talk about it, and I thought, is this just like they're just making money for talking about it? It's not really the best option. But I talked to my son, who's an adult, and one of his friends that is doing really well financially, he said that my son told me that this friend uses SoFi. And so I looked into it and I signed up for it. I put some money in an account there. And I have a link for you that I'll share in the show notes. If you use my link, you can do this too. So it's a great option for making some extra money. But if you use my link, you'll get a $25 bonus and up to $300 when you set up a direct deposit. And if you join, you can share a link with friends and family, and you will also receive a bonus for anybody that signs up under your link. So let's say you share it with your sister, your best friend, your mom. I forget what the bonus is. I'll have to look that up, but you will get money, free money into your account for referring these people. So that's just another way to make a little bit of extra money in your account. So like I said, I'll put that link in the show notes. Feel free to use it. Feel free not to use it. It doesn't bother me either way. I'm not trying to just sell you on something. I'm just giving you an option that is also a way that you can make extra money. So another thing that if you're interested in looking into ways to put money aside or invest your money, a friend told me about an account called dowjanes.com, and it's women and they share tips for other women, and it's like, basic finance stuff that maybe you didn't learn in the past because you let somebody else handle the finances, or you just never learned it in school. I also like Your Rich BFF, with Vivian too. She shares a lot of things on Instagram, TikTok. She has a podcast. So she's another fun one to listen to. And then for money mindset, I like the books Happy Pocket Full of Money. It's kind of like manifestation and just money mindset. You know, having the belief that you can make more money. So that's a really good one. And then this one somebody recommended is called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And it is free on Kindle Unlimited, but I will link those below as well because those are some really just fun, good ones to read about money, the basics of money. And then another option you can do is look into ways to make more money. So you may be exhausted, I'm sure you are if you're living with a narcissistic person, but there's so many ways to make more money online now that are much easier than in the past. You can do remote work that's part-time. You can do affiliate programs. Amazon has one. You can just share things that you like on Amazon and earn a few pennies here and there. And then multi-level marketing companies, you know, that sell products. They get such a bad rap. But if you find a product that you really love, it could be a great way to make an extra $300 to $500 a month. And who couldn't use that? I loved it because what happened, I'm still doing it. I'm not as active as I was in the past, and I'm wanting to change that. But I chose a product that was essential oils because I love the idea of natural care for my family. You know, my family jokes with me because every time they come up with some kind of ailment or complaint, I mention some kind of essential oil that they could use to help support them with that. But what happened was when I joined this company, I found other like-minded people that were into health and wellness. I found people in my community that were interested in health and wellness. I found friends online. My team that is above me is, you know, hundreds of people big, and they do lots of trainings. One of the women that's above me, she is able to go to lots of the different trainings and then she brings them back to the team. So it's a way to get free business training. And I just think that's amazing. Like, where else can you go to get free business training? Now, there are some companies I know that are high pressure and you have to have a minimum number of sales, blah, blah, blah. Don't choose a company like that because you don't need extra stress on your plate. You need a company that's not high pressure, that is going to allow you to work when you want to work, make extra money when you want to make extra money, and they're not going to add stress to your life. Also, if you are interested in learning about that essential oils company, feel free to message me. I'm not a high pressure salesperson, so I'll give you information, but I'm not going to keep bugging you. Please share the video, and if you have any questions, you want to know more about how you can keep from being controlled with money by this narcissistic person, or if you just need more support in general, reach out, set up a call. I'd be glad to help you out. That's what I do. That's my mission, is to help more people get out of toxic relationships so we don't have to have this, you know, painful stress in our lives. I wish I had found somebody sooner for myself. Thanks for joining. I will see you in the next video. Bye.